No. Judy, now you see why you're a co-host, yeah? No, good. It means the rest of it you didn't get to see. Judy, thank God you're here. My goodness. That would have been interesting. Do a Trance Dem and then forget to record it. Wouldn't have been the first time. Okay, guys. Let me just fidget and get myself comfy. Yeah. Well, good evening, my dear friends. Good evening. What a wonderful opportunity to share the presence of so many people. And it brings a great love to the experience for us. To know that there are others that seek to walk this journey, experience this eternal love, to know that life is eternal. It is a process of transition between different states of being, but it never comes to an end. What a wonderful opportunity to share this sacred space with you. Now, let us share a few words and see where the journey takes us, my friends. Now, as we enter into this relationship with Spirit, there can be a great deal of uncertainty about what you should be doing, how you may express yourself, and what the journey may hold for you. A great hindrance is the mind itself. It is like a playful child that has a great interest for a short while, and then like a frog jumping from one lily pad to another, it changes its focus. It starts to question the journey, and indecision has become your friend once more. But my friends, I ask you to make friends with something much more powerful, something much greater than the mind itself. That is your heart. You may think, why should I make friends with my heart? And I tell you that it will be the greatest guide that you have ever had. You may rejoice in having the wise man of the East, the medicine man, or the man of the plains of Africa. You may rejoice in all of these things, but become aware of the wisdom of your own heart, how it responds to the truth of what your soul needs, not what your mind wants, what your soul needs. Think about that. Why do I say that you should occupy your heart within your development? Well, it is quite simple. From as long as you can remember, you have always been intuitive. It is your nature to judge the world not on what you understand, but by what you feel. Even if you did not know that you are being intuitive, that you've done it without thinking, shows you that it is truly a natural state of being. Use your heart to judge what is right for you. Allow your heart to guide you, to be the compass, to ensure that you are never lost on your journey. What you seek wishes to find an outlet of expression. But you must discern between what you want and what you seek. What you seek is the voice that is within you. What you want is your ego's demands of how you think you will be fulfilled, how you think you will find a new way of being happy. But the heart knows the truth, and the truth is felt. The truth is an experience that happens from your heart, so connected to your mind. And when you are judging a situation or a person, connect to them with your love before you connect with your mind. Your mind will discriminate. It will judge. It will do all of those things that show there is separation between you and the other person. Your heart will feel that they really are like you. They are trying to find a truth, a place upon the earth, somewhere that they fit. They are trying to find their tribe, those that are like them. Sometimes when our mind says what we do not like about someone, it is experiencing an aspect of itself that it maybe does not like. But when you realize that your enemy is really your brother or sister, that their heart beats with blood that is the same as yours, that they want to find their way, they want to be accepted. But the human mind brings into play things like nationality, sexuality, political persuasion. If you allow it to, it will show you every reason why you are different. But you will not become aware of any reason why you are the same, if you allow it to be so. What I do know is on this journey that you are on, you are learning things about yourself. Some of these things are difficult to accept, and you are still processing them as we speak. Some of you have learned how to be a better person. You have realized that you can change because change is in your hands. It is not in the hands of us within the spirit realms. Change is something that happens because you want it to. Change is a choice. The words that come from your mouth are your words. They may be influenced by us, but an aspect of you, the person, is aware of them. So take responsibility for what you say. Understand as you speak a harsh word, it is the same as throwing a stone. It hurts. And I do not believe for 1 second that any of you would like to be hit by a stone. So therefore, do not cast one at someone else, whether it be a word or a stone. This journey is one of finding new truths. The truth is not set in stone. We do not carve truth into stone and say, here is the truth. The truth is the same as saying, here is my current understanding of a particular situation or subject. But the truth can be changed as you bring new awareness into your life and your understanding. So understand that what you think and what you feel is only true in the moment that you perceive them. And that as a person changes, so does the truth. So maybe 20 years ago, a person was your enemy. And your mind wants to hold on to that situation and say that they will be an enemy for life. But that would infer that that person cannot and is not able to change. And if we are honest with ourselves, you would not wish someone else to make that judgment against you. So I ask you not to do it to them. Allow the fact that people can change to be something that you can consider. But it does not mean you have to accept them. It means consider the judgment that you are casting upon them. Allow yourself the freedom of peace of mind. Now, Judy, my dear friend, thank you for assisting the boy. It is a good job he has friends like you. So would you like to offer the opportunity to our friends, the audience,
Yes.
to ask us questions?
If anyone has a question, just raise your hand. I'm looking at the gallery view. Anyone have a question?
Well, maybe there are many more people who have crossed over than I realized. Would you like us to continue talking?
We have two questions now. Kim, I'll unmute you. Kim, I just need you to unmute. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, Kim has one.
Yes. How can we be a better service to spirit?
Now, I would ask you, my friend, and good evening to you.
Oh, thank you.
I would ask you to be of service to yourself before you're of service to us. You know, as you find your way in this experience that you call life, the challenge is not to be of service to others. It is to do what brings you into your greatest sense and experience of love and happiness that you can have. And if you are able to share a loving, happy experience with others, then you are being of service from your soul to the souls of those that you interact with, whether that be the person that you live with, the person that you speak to in the street, or the person that you bring through evidence to from their loved one. Being of service to spirit is to acknowledge that you too are spirit, that you too deserve unconditional love. You too deserve to find answers, to receive all that is good in the experience that you have called life. Life as a physical being with all of those challenges, which I know you have faced with great courage. I know that you have felt that calling to make people realize that there is another world outside the world that you walk in. And that is the world that you inhabit with your loves. I know that as you feel this experience of connecting to spirit, it brings you great happiness. It brings you great satisfaction, and you want to find a way of sharing that with others. Do so by living the best life that you can. Do so by sharing happiness, by laughing more than you have ever laughed, by smiling more than you have ever smiled, by looking into the mirror and loving what you see. You know that this journey has many challenges, and you have had your fair share. But acknowledge that you are an equal part of this process. Use your time in the way that brings you the greatest happiness. And you will bring us the greatest sense of achievement. That life is not to be of service. Life is to enjoy. And if you are of service as you enjoy what you do, then now you're not fulfilling your own soul's growth and that of people that you interact with. What do you think, my friend?
That was beautiful, and it was something that I needed to hear. So I thank you very, very much.
My friend, we know that the heart is strong, that your love is strong, except that some days you may wish to just sit and watch the television. Other days you may wish to shout from the rooftops. Accept that each day changes. Each day is a new challenge. Accept that challenge. Rest when you need to rest. Run when you need to run. And allow that love of life itself to run through you and express itself in every way. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay, Malada had her hand up.
Hi, my friend. I believe that that spirit has answered my question in the last answer.
Mm.
Um,
Well,
so I don't really have another question.
my friend, there are great mysteries. And when we speak about the boy is merely a microphone for us to use. And there are many intelligences that will speak through him. And what is to say that those that walk that path with you are not influencing the very conversation that we are having? It is not about possessing a guide, saying, my guide is wiser than your guide. My guide speaks this truth. It is about sharing a universal truth, that we are just trying to find a space and a place that we fit. We are trying to find a way for our heart to express the love within it. And I thank you for having at least the courage to ask a question. There are many who have not. It is a hint. Now,
We have three more questions now. The first one is from Glenda. Do you think the key to life is heal thyself and love thyself? Then we can be true to spirit through our heart opening more and letting go of ego as we become more in tuned in spirit. As then assignments will come to us as challenges, as not challenge is good or bad, it is just called life. Can you reflect on this a bit more, please?
well, there are many great wisdoms that have already been expressed within the question itself. Life is about an opportunity to experience what is different within this physical existence. Now, you know that as you have grown older, there are times when you are young, where you would skip across the ground like a young antelope. And it seemed like you had no issues. There was no way of restricting your potential. And you will know that as you grow older, it seems that each morning there is a new wrinkle. There is a new ache that has appeared within your life. It is a great result in a way. It is telling you that each day has brought you new wisdom, a new opportunity for learning. Sometimes you look into the mirror and you do not like what you see. But I would say to you, embrace all that you do not like. Wonder why it is so that it causes you pain. And think of ways that you can change. Many people talk about fate or destiny. It is as if a family trait cannot be changed by you. You're not destined to be somewhere. You are changing your destiny moment by moment. You are the driver of the car. So do not think it is a one-way ticket to nowhere. It is a place where you decide where your destination is. As you come across all of these experiences, they will teach you stuff. You will learn things and accept and reject things that do not feel right to you. You will come across a situation whereby you say, I do not see the benefit in why I experienced it. I do not know why I married this person only to become unhappy. All of these things are a measure of growth, that you had learned something about yourself and you are changing your future because this moment is teaching you something. Traveling the journey is never about an upward curve of love and experience. Sometimes it feels like a roller coaster. Sometimes it feels that you are only ever heading downhill. But you know that as life moves on, that curve then goes upwards, and that you are rising above the experience, that you are changing your outlook, you are becoming a different person. You do not exist today as you were yesterday. You have changed. Your cells have died and replenished. You are physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually not the same person. So seek to change what you do not like and embrace what you do. Now, how else can we answer this question, my friends? Tell me. Repeat the question. What else was there? What have I not covered?
I think you've covered it all and you have 2 more questions.
Well, she can always ask another question if she wishes.
Yes. Okay. Rhonda has a question.
It relates to something that you said already about finding the new truth. I was wondering if, given the awareness of the, I guess, the chaos of our pharmaceutical industry, should we expect to have more spirits come through who work with natural remedies and energy for healing?
No. Well, we would not seek to replace the medical expertise that you have. What we would advocate, my friend, is choice. We would advocate that you have the choice to speak to a medical professional, that you have the choice to follow a natural path of healing. You would have a choice to make so that you are not forced to follow a path that you do not feel or even know is right for you. What we would say, let us look at the pros and cons. Despite the feelings of many, there are a great deal of things that we can be grateful for as a species that medicine has brought us. My friends who I share my time with, many of their families and their people were wiped out by diseases that were brought to us when the Europeans moved across the world. We did not have a way of combating or fighting against the disease that was brought to us. We suffered. Many people now would not die from those same diseases because medicine has given us a way of protecting ourselves. Now, if we had that 150 years ago, life would be different for many of us. Conversely, you have to ask what the point of a pharmaceutical business is. And it is like many things in this world. It is about money. There is not a great deal of gain to be had from a healthy person, is there? Money is made from people that are sick. Unfortunately, the life that many wish to lead is not one of toil. It is not one of working. It is one of convenience. And with convenience becomes this new need to have food instantly and for people to produce it as cheaply as possible, to fulfill an obligation for your pocket to remain full, but your belly to also remain full. And how can we have the best of both worlds? Sometimes we have to sacrifice the financial aspect of our life to live and eat more healthily. You know that you are what you eat. You know that as you eat chemicals, as you eat medicines and poisons, as with all of these things that may give you a temporary hit of satisfaction, what they do is sit like inert energy, dead within your body, nutritionally replete of anything worthwhile. There is nothing good in the cheapest food on the shelf. Sometimes we have to look at what is around us, the great wisdom of Mother Nature herself. Does she not provide clean water? And yet you seek to drink these colored waters in a can. What is wrong with people? Why would they seek to poison themselves, to fill themselves with sugar? It gives them a temporary feeling of elation, of happiness. The body cries out for it, but it does not cry out for fresh fruits, for vegetables and clean water. It lacks the chemical signature and the body craves it. Animals naturally crave for sugars. And do you not think that these companies know this? So you are addicted to the diet. You are addicted to a way of eating that keeps money in their pocket and it keeps it from yours. Now, ever since there was ever the awareness of the spirit world, I would argue that those that work with a medium would always recognize that choice must be yours. You have that expression of free will. And if you wish to have convenience, we would not seek to stop you, because it must be your decision of learning. If you want a healthier body, eat healthy. It is a very simple process, really. No one forces food into your mouth. So we cannot blame anyone for the decisions that we make. If you want health, then seek it in all of its forms. Eat healthily. Think healthily. Do you know, my friend, that with the best diet in the world, that the greatest issue that you have is your anxiety, living within your body, polluting your body. It can affect your cells in a way that the food can. So if you do not think in a good way, do not be surprised if disease comes from your mind. You can literally make yourself sick by the way that you think. So a healthy diet is the thoughts that occupy your mind. It is the spiritual nature of who you are. Think about what type of person you want to be. When you speak the words, speak them of kindness. Speak them of a loving nature. Not because we want you to be angelic in your thoughts, but because it will help you. It makes you a better person. There can be no person in this room this evening that enjoys being unpleasant to someone. And if you do, my friends, you need a deep period of reflection. For it is not your true nature, and you are ignoring your true nature. My friend, have I answered your question?
Yes, I mean, it would seem like it's common sense, but we certainly have lost our way in so many respects. So thank you so much.
My friend, the one thing I would like to add to this, convenience is the big conundrum in this situation. If people are not willing to go to that extra effort of preparation of healthy foods, if time and their management of the life that they lead has placed them in such a situation that we need to have the quickest possible, then I'm afraid they are walking a path that is not serving them correctly. But I know that you are well aware of the benefits of healthy lifestyle. Thank you, my friend.
We have a few more questions here. Somebody wants to know the difference, actually it's Sandy, the difference between trance and physical mediumship.
Well, it is quite simple, my friend. Trance is a process of connecting to the mind. It is a mental melding. between the boy and us. It is a process of passing thoughts, ideas, situations through his mind and hoping to God that he does not interfere with us. That is a simplistic version of what trance is. Physical phenomena is a different beast. However, there is a process of entering into this altered state of being. As the boy works in this state of being, physical phenomena can happen with him. And it may happen with other mediums. So you know there is a gray area. And as we look into this process of connecting, let us say that the boy is working to develop a phenomenon. He will enter the same state that you witnessed at the start of these proceedings. But there are different people who work with him in a different way, that they will use energy from the fabric of the room. They will use energy and the life force from the boy, and they will try to produce phenomena. They have produced lights, they have produced voices, they have produced noises and situations where you know with your own physical eyes that something is happening. You are witnessing it as you look at him. Trance is an experience of the mind. It does not, you do not see it. You may see the effect upon the boy to know that he is in trance because we are affecting him through his energy field. Physical phenomena is a progression of this altered state of being. It is a movement towards the deeper states of experience within his mediumship. But let us say that there are people upon the plains of Africa, spirit people who would walk around in bright daylight. There are people who have experienced this. Phenomena happens in a way that those that work with him are able to produce it. So there is not a box that you all fit into quite comfortably. It is a case of how are you different to the boy? There will be things about you that are different. There will be possibilities within your mediumship that do not exist within his, and vice versa. It is why we cannot all paint each other with the same brush and say, I like the color that they are, so therefore everyone will be this color. It is not that simple, my friend. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, the next question is, why do spirits send apports? This is from Melissa.
My friend, sorry, repeat the question.
Why does spirit send apports?
Apports. Yes. Now, my friend, there are situations in which seeing really is believing. There are situations whereby we can prove to someone our existence if we bring into a reality something that did not exist within that time and place until that moment. So, let us say, for example, that your father, he spoke when he was alive of having a lucky penny. And you are on this journey of unfoldment, and you happen to find yourself in a situation where you're sitting within a seance. If it is possible with the spirit doctors who work in this way, and your father said that the greatest proof I could give her, except for producing myself in front of her, was a lucky penny, because she would understand its relevance, then we would say that this would be a very wise way of using the opportunity, but not for the purpose of being entertaining. Entertainment is not why we are here. It is proof of survival in some ways, but it is proof of the love that exists between us. We could come to you, we could occupy that space within your heart, and you could see nothing, yet leave the room with the greatest certainty that there is indeed life beyond death. You could walk from the room and know that I realize that I do not die when my body fails me, because I have felt the reality of the love of my loved ones. Feel the presence of spirit. Judge it on what you feel. If the experience does not feel right to you, then my friend, it is not right for you. But we cannot judge the way that others work. We can consider what has happened. Consider the truth of it. If it feels like you are watching a magician's display, then I would say walk away. There is nothing magical about producing things without a purpose. Feel into why you are experiencing what you are experiencing. Feel into the purpose of the object. What has been produced? What is its relevance and its significance? It may be a smell, it may be an oil, it may be a gem. But what is its significance? I hope I have answered your question, please.
Yes, you have. She's shaking her head. Okay, there's a lot of questions. So if someone asks 2 questions, I'm just going to use one right now. Okay. The next question is, this is from Anne. I'm very interested in trance. I have been in trance 4 times. Do you think this is a road I should take?
How do you know you have been in trance, my friend? That is what I would say to you. If you feel the loving embrace of those that work with you, if it fills your heart with joy, if you love what you experience and you have felt the love from them, and you walk that path, you do what makes your heart sing, my friend. And do not listen to anyone that says you cannot. You do what you wish to do. And if you make a mistake, well, so what? You will learn something from it. You will learn the experience of judging what is right for you. If it was all about us telling you what to do, I would say, go away. Be loving, be kind, and never return. And that would be good advice from my point of view. But you have to understand what is right for you may not be right for someone else. Experiencing and sharing my love for the work we do with a boy is right for us, and it is right for him. But if he walks away, then we accept this. We accept that he has made a judgment based on how he feels. So while I would encourage you to fully embrace the connection that you have, remember that the choice and the free will is your choice. And it must always be this way. Well, you have the opportunity to have a decision. Do not seek to give it away to someone else for decision. That is the best I will say to you, my friend. Good question.
Okay, are you ready for another question?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Michelle wants to know about the law of karma. Is it truly just a thought process? a process that we believe that we need to process through, as opposed to learning to just forgive our debtors and to forgive ourselves, than to placing ourselves on the forever ending karmic wheel of life.
Yeah. But this karmic wheel of life is related to a thought process. It is related to a point of view by those who have not created what is the word we look for? It is of a tradition from the ancient Indian yogis that we speak of the law of cause and effect of karmic influence. But as you experience life, as you make decisions, they have consequences. So we are seeking to, in a way, make recompense for all that you have done and all that you have said. The law of cause and effect is, in effect, you are responsible for everything you have done. That there is the sense that you do not seek someone else to absolve you of these situations. I nearly said sin, but there are no such thing as sins. Now, what you have to understand, my friend, is that we are thinking of things in a sense that time is something that was past and is present and is in the future. But really, all of these things are happening at the same time. So you have to consider that what you are doing now is answering for something that you are doing in this moment. But what you have done in the past is also present in this moment. So there is a sense of who are we absolving of? What are we doing to correct our path, our decisions? How do we move forward without a sense of guilt? Who do we blame when something goes wrong? What happens in this situation? You have to consider that as you are experiencing life, all of those things that have held you back in the past, they are affecting your mindset. Now, as you carry them forward, and let us say that tomorrow you join the spirit world, your soul has experienced those things. Your soul keeps an awareness of those things. And this wheel of time that it rolls around, and you have an awareness that there are things that you do not feel that you have made peace with. Then you can come back. You can experience this thing that we call life. And you can choose to maybe be the rich man that gives to the poor rather than takes from them. And you are absolving yourself of this experience that caused you pain, that caused you a heavy karmic influence upon your soul. So your soul may have many incarnations, many experiences of this thing that we call life. It is up to you to decide what you are happy with and what you are not. But the point I would make is that you cannot be forced to come back to life, as we call it, to absolve yourself of anything if you do not wish. You can be as selfish as you want, and it just becomes a matter of how your soul is elevated, what you feel that you need to work on. All truths are known. So even if you say to yourself, I think I've done a good job, and I think I will stay upon my fluffy cloud and play a harp. Well, if that is what you wish to do, you can. But the truth is there whether you like it or not. All that you have done that has caused a positive or a negative influence on people around you is known. So I would say it is in your interests that you can call it any word you want, but aim to be the best person to raise your vibration by living in a good way. And you will find that your soul will thank you for it. I hope that answers your question, Michelle.
Yes, I'm going to go to the next one. Many speak about a great awakening process that we are experiencing on earth right now.
Mm.
Can you share more about this, please? And this is from Carolyn.
Now, why would the Great Awakening be happening right now? The Great Awakening happened, my friend, from the moment we became conscious. The Great Awakening is not a moment in time that we reach. It is an everyday process of understanding the way that we live our life. We awaken as a person. We awaken as a town or a city. We can awaken as a country. We can awaken as a world. But the awakening happens second by second, day by day, month by month, and year by year. The awakening is becoming more conscious, which means more aware of the effect that we have upon the way that we live our life. You would say we are having a great awakening, but there is a great darkness upon the souls of many. If this was not the case, then why are there murders? Why is there tragedy that is caused by man's insistence on changing everyone but himself? A nation state may seek to surrender because it does not want the rest of its state to be destroyed by another. People are seeking answers to questions, but they're seeking everyone else to change. Why do they not seek that change within themselves? Walk the path yourself as the best person that you can be. We look at the world and we see animals that are evolving day by day. They are adopting their true nature, which is to be loving, which is to adopt a principle of survival, a principle of procreation, harm to no other than what is essential for its own survival. Mankind cannot collect enough money. He needs more than he ever will need. He wants more than he ever will need. He digs holes in the ground to find metal to be able to speak to someone, and yet does not use his mouth, which takes nothing from Mother Earth. He seeks more riches than he will ever need. And how much of that will he take with him when he joins me? The answer is none. Seek to produce and to collect things that you can take with you. The great awakening is the fact that you are asleep. I hope that wakes you up. But many people are asleep to the reality of what life is doing, how they are living life. The good thing is, there are people like you, people that understand that this world is not all that it could be. And yet change is possible. Change can happen. We know it can happen because as each morning arises and you leave your homes, you decide to turn left or right out of your door. You decide to say hello or not hello. You decide whether to be a good person or not. Change is always possible. Take only what you need. Whether that is the time of someone else, whether that is the love that you share and require from someone. Do not be a collector of things that you cannot take with you. Be the most loving, kind person that you can be. Why? Because you take that essence, raising your vibration by being a good person. You want to talk about being more evolved and enlightened? Awaken yourself first. Be an example by the way that you live your life. It is finite. There are people that touch the earth for a day, for a year, for 100 years. Think of the way that your words affect people around you. As you live your life, inspire people with what you say and do. Do something kind. And when I see you doing something kind, I say to myself, there is something that makes my heart sing. I want to be more like her. She has given someone a kindness, and it has made me reflect upon how I can be. And therefore, change starts from the example that you set others. Have I answered your question, my friend?
It appears so, yes.
Mm.
And somebody would like to know what exactly are orbs?
Yeah. Well, I would say, how clean is your house? First of all, now, there are many times when people would like to think that the light anomalies are a spiritual influence. And I am being slightly facetious when I say about the dust, but not exclusively so. Spirit is a form of energy. Energy can be manifest more easily as a source of light. Spiritual light can be seen and manifest, but do not blame the dust within your atmosphere as being a spiritual experience. I'm afraid a great deal of orbs, shall we say, are the result of the movement of lint and dust and particles within the light. And as your cameras record the experience, I'm afraid you are not seeing anything of a spiritual nature in the majority of cases. But it is not to say it is a blanket rule. If you see a form of light within your camera, then there is a good opportunity for spirit to show themselves to you. And indeed, the boy has had this. So there are opportunities for spirit to show themselves. Now, when energy and with ectoplasm is withdrawn from a medium, you may see the embryonic beginnings of what appears to be like dust or smoke. Now, you may be seeing the presence of spirit in a very basic form. And with time and with manipulation, you may see the form turn into something more human-like. But it is a case of changing it from a gaseous state, a state where it appears to be like smoke, to something more solid that looks like a human form. But my friends, this is a very difficult and complicated process, but not we're beyond the realms of possibilities. I hope I have not shattered your dreams, but given you clarity.
He's smiling. Okay, and the last question for today is, what does Spirit recommend that I do to quiet my mind and enter a state of mind for trance? And that is from James.
Yeah. Now, what will you say to you, my friend? And are there not many who are asking the same question as I speak? Allow your heart to open wide. You may think that the mind is the process by which we communicate. And to a degree, my friend, you would be correct. But your heart is truly what we connect to. Open your heart by connecting with the intention of unconditional love. What do I mean by unconditional love. If you have a child, if you have a beautiful animal, if you have a favorite grandfather, a favorite grandmother, if you have something that you treasure more than anything in the whole world, think of the experience that that brings to you when you hold it within your mind, when you realize that you would do anything for it, for them. Hold that experience of loving unconditionally, with no rules. Hold it in your heart and allow it to spread into your mind. Allow it to flow to the soles of your feet. Allow your heart to sing that vibration of love. Invite those that would seek to work with you. And be sure to know that what you feel from them is the presence of love, the presence of something that is greater than you maybe have ever experienced. Hold that within your heart. Invite them to make a loving connection and be patient. Be patient and allow it to become a union of loving presence, a union of energy, a to and a fro, a here and now. Allow it to come together, a union of love, my friend. When you experience that love, you can trust what you feel. There is the first obstacle in the development. Being able to trust what you experience. As the boy has said, as we have said, you know it is right because you feel it. You feel that presence of spirit with you. Now, to address the next point, you will feel a flow of thoughts that you realize with time are not coming from your mind, but are flowing through your mind. You realize that words are coming through that are not of your creation, but they come through the boy. They come through whoever is undergoing that process of entrancement. What you are experiencing is the flow of a different consciousness through you, with you. Understand that you are part of the process. As time goes on, as your ability to allow us to influence you to a greater and greater degree, there will be more of us and less of you in the conversation. And it may be that in time, it becomes 99.9% us. But remember that you are always involved. You are always in charge. It is never a case of spirit replacing you. We are joining you. We are coming together. A brotherhood, a sisterhood of spiritual presence and influence. And this is the way it has always been. Never connect to any energy or entity that is not loving. It does not have to be human in its form to be loving. And that will throw a question or two to you. Love exists in many forms and in many places. It is not exclusively of the planet that you reside. Love is a universal force. It is what brings me to the boy. It is what brings you to each other, that there is something that you love. You want to experience love. And if all of you are truthful, love is the greatest thing that you will ever experience.
whether it is for each other, for your children, for your husband or wife or partner. Love is the eternal truth of who you are, who I am. As you go away from this evening, consider this, that it is your divine right, it is your soul's calling to express your love for something in a positive way. Seek to do this without harming others. If you do not like what you see in someone else, then do not tell them to change. Offer yourself as a mirror to show them how they can be. No one is past the point of no return. No one is beyond help. There are not enemies, there are only people that you are different to. Seek to show them through your own example. Be the most spiritual being that you can be. And there are days that you will fail. But those are the days where you learn the greatest truths. Those are the days where you present a mirror to yourself and you say, I could have been different. I could have followed a different path, and maybe next time you will. And isn't that the purpose of why we are here? To experience growth through failure, growth through success, growth through change. Accept that you and the world around you are changing, and you need to change with it. Change offers opportunities for growth. Do not be afraid of it. You have been changing from the moment that you were conceived, cell by cell, day by day, until the moment that you are in the world of the eternal spirit. That is the only thing that you can be certain of, is that you will and do change. Use it as an opportunity for growth, for being the best version of yourself that you can be. Now, my friends, we will return the boy to you, and as we do so, allow us to express our profound gratitude to you, that you have spent your time listening, considering what the boy has shared with you, through the voice that we give him. Walk your life in the most peaceful way that you can. Understand that the world within your heart is the best world that you can see. That the world around you may not be perfect, but then again, nor are you. Change is possible. Love is eternal. Adopt love as the power that motivates you. And may the blessings of all that is holy and sacred be with you, walk with you, and be forever in your heart. And with those blessings, we say Aho, and good evening to you. Light, bright light, bright light, light's bright. Okay. belly's rumbling. I hope you can't hear that. Oh, okay. Right. I don't even know what I was going to say. Anyone else? So, guys, what did you experience, if anything? What did you notice as you're watching me work? You're going to mute yourself or stick your hand up, and Judy will ask you to unmute yourself. I'm just interested to know. Crikey, I feel like I'm going cross-eyed. Oh. Sorry. Yeah, Sandy, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, your first guide, your voice was so hypnotic. I felt I was going into trance myself.
Yeah. Okay.
It was so, honestly, it was so hypnotic. I just felt myself going, oh. I could have listened to you all night.
Many have. It's not as delightful as you might think. No, joking aside, no, that's a really interesting observation, because I've had the same when I've been watching like a friend of mine work and doing a dem. And when at certain parts, certain guides, I'll be watching, then I'm just, my head's down, and I'm like, what happened? And I literally I will be away with the fairies, and then I'll just come back, and I'm like, whoa, did I nod off? And you don't. Sometimes the energy between certain guides can really connect with you, and you can kind of just feel yourself going, donk.
In fact, that's what I wrote in my question. I said, Andrew's guide is Andrew's guide. It's using him as a channel. He's got such an hypnotic voice. I'm going into trance.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. That's not the first time. Thank you, Sandy.
That's okay.
Anyone else want to share thoughts, observations? Yeah, Glenda.
I thought it was amazing, and especially to watch the two guides, because there was more than one guide there.
Yeah, that's right.
And the wisdom and the knowledge and just what life is all about and why we're here. That's what I felt when your guides were explaining things. Is it's not just what people think it's like black and white. It's more than we ever know, right? And when we think we don't know nothing, when we think we know everything, we don't know nothing, right?
Yeah.
So it was just profound. It was so profound. I loved it. It was amazing. Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Thanks, Glenda. The one thing I've noticed is the more that I learn about this, the more I realize I know very little. All right. When we know a little bit, we're convinced that we know everything. And when we know a lot more, we realize we know a lot less.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't make sense in some ways, but it's
awareness, right?
It really is. We have to understand that it's like the more we walk down that journey, the more we see of a much wider world. And then you realize, actually, I know very little. And I'm the first to admit that. All right. Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah. Anyone else want to mention whatever you experienced or felt or didn't feel, whatever? No, you're just keen to go?
No, I felt there was a lot of Buddhist teachings in it.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Buddhist teachings. My partner's a Buddhist. That's how I can connect.
Oh, interesting. Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. One of the guys certainly would be of that background, or at least part of his life, or one of his lives would have been of that background. Yeah, Kathy, you raised your hand. Do you want to unmute yourself?
There was a lot said about being an example. This was said over and over and over again.
Okay.
You know, don't try to change somebody or whatever, but just be an example in all you do. And I think that was with all the guides. That was lovely. Good.
Well, I was going to say, sometimes we do have to lead by example. If, for example, me doing this, maybe it's no good me saying you should all be trance mediums. That doesn't work. That's me trying to impose my will upon you, isn't it? But if I said to you, the joy and the love that I experience when I connect is something that I'm profoundly grateful for. Maybe it's something that you will enjoy too, but that's got to be your decision to do that. And you may be inspired in some way by the way that I work with spirit. But I don't expect every one of you to want to be a trance medium. But by me doing this, it gives you something to think about, and you can make your own decision, can't you? And that's where change happens, not by someone hitting you with a stick, but by offering you a carrot. All right. And then you decide whether you want to chase that carrot. If you're a horse, you will. But yeah, so anyone else want to mention anything? I'm happy to answer questions.
Can I say something, Andy?
Oh, hello, Junie June.
Hello, darling.
Hello.
I just want to say thank you so very much for this evening. It was a beautiful evening.
Good.
And the answers to the questions that people asked, I felt were fully answered, and not just you know, an easy answer, but an explanatory answer that well, I certainly felt that that we had a full answer, you know, to anything that was asked. So that I found was lovely. I mean, I've seen your guides many times and I love them dearly. They're beautiful beings. But it is the love that they bring, and they bring that into the room. And my cat is so close to me, you know, she loves that energy.
Yeah.
She comes in because she knows it's all the love there.
Yeah.
And so from me personally, when they come in and they have spoken so beautifully, I also feel that there is a healing element when they answer the questions.
Yeah, no, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, I suppose there would be.
They do. They give, or to me they do, they give the answers with such love, but also with that element of healing, because sometimes people have been hurt by the questions.
Yeah.
And so it's as if they give them that healing back and give them the understanding as well. It's very beautiful, actually, how they weave it. Really beautiful. And I can just say thank you so much.
June, I absolutely appreciate you've had a busy week. You've just come back from a week's retreat, and I really appreciate you taking that time to join us. And yeah, you're right. And look, the guides, from my understanding, they'll just, I don't know, in essence, they just want the best. They just want you to have your best life. I think that's probably the one thing that I would just say that they do want. And if that's doing something different to other people, then so be it. But live your best life, because it's the only one you've got. So yeah. Rhonda, you got your hand up waiting patiently. What do you want to say, Rhonda?
Well, I would normally say there's only one thing I get up at 3 a.m. for, and that's to catch a plane to go on a holiday. But it's worth getting up at 3 a.m. for. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that is nuts.
And love the perspective on the Great Awakening. It was really interesting. And I think for me, it resonates so much that you realize there's a lot of BS out there. But this just brought it back to basic understanding of what it means to be awake. You know?
Yeah. It's kind of, awakening, that's a weird word. I'm not even sure I understand what awakening means. But there you go. It's an interesting concept. I think I'll have to listen to it back and see if it makes sense. All right, because that kind of blows my mind, even the thought of it. Kathy, you've got your hand up. Have you got another question, or you just didn't? Right. All right. No, you just hadn't put your hand down. There you go. I'll lower your hand for you. Matthias, hello, my friend.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Well. Let me see. Yeah, you can hear me. That's good. It was sensational. I loved every minute of it. But I've just one question, and that's it. How does it feel for you? You know, right from the start until the end. What went on in your mind as a person, as Andy?
There's a sense. It's like I'm being comforted. So when they connect to me, I kind of feel this familiar sense of, there you are. And I kind of just want to I sit back in my chair and I just think, there you are. Now I've felt you, I can calm down, because I worry. Of course I worry that, am I going to have a connection? Is it going to work right? And all those things. I feel that sense of calmness. And then when you just feel, it's weird, because when you're thinking about the answer to a question like I am now, I'm trying to think about what I want to say. when they're speaking, it's like the words are coming out of my mouth before I have a chance to think about it. And I'm like, oh, I don't know that I would say that. And I'm kind of, it's like the words overtake me before I can become aware of them. That is the closest that I can say how it feels, but I feel relaxed. I don't have a sense of my body. It's just the sense of I'm experiencing a sharing of information. And that sounds a bit airy fairy, but that's the closest way that I can describe it. I just feel that I'm safe. I'm just having a meeting, a conversation with my friends. They're not the spirit world, they're my friends that happen to be in the spirit world. And it's just like that they are using my voice for whatever reason they see this challenge and they want to do it. And it's just, for me, it's a beautiful experience and I love it. So yeah, that's how I feel.
Okay, thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us as well,
That's
Matt.
wonderful. Okay,
Yeah,
thank
sorry,
you.
Judy, and then Kim and whoever else.
Thank you so much. I've listened to your guides many, many times. My guides have spoken with your guides as well. But every time you do it, I don't know why you worry. I don't know why you get concerned, because it's just smooth and just flows. You close your eyes and then they are there. And I don't feel like they're spirit. I feel like they're actually here in the room with all of us, sharing this love and sharing these words, and they become tangible, very tangible to me.
Yeah, no, that's really kind. I'm massively appreciative of you kind of giving that feedback, because you have worked with me probably more than anyone else. And so there is that, it's nice to get, perspective from other people that are trance mediums too. I've seen Judy work, and let me tell you, it's very, very good work. And we're going to be doing a dem with the other trance mediums. So that'll be news to some of them. So in the not too distant future, where we'll offer the people that work with me, that are developing their trance, the opportunity to work, not for as long as I have, because there'll be more of them. But the future is really bright, because there's lots of people that genuinely care about the spirit world and mediumship and development. And there's some great wisdom to be had. And I've experienced a lot of it in my classes. So yeah. So kind of watch this space, keep an eye on my Facebook page and the rest of it, and consider following if you want to, because there'll be opportunities to see someone other than me. And that's not to say it'll be less than, it's a different perspective. And let me tell you, it's well worth waiting for. All right. So yeah, thanks, Judy. Kim, what do you want to say from New Orleans?
Oh, Andy, I have seen your guides before, and they have, I feel, become friends.
Yeah.
And when they were speaking today, that love that they hold you in literally was in the Zoom room. And when I asked my question and they answered it, I'm going to tear up again. Tears were just streaming down my face because of that love energy that they were feeding to me, right? My soul.
Yeah.
And to the room. And I just had to thank you and your guides for that. It was really beautiful.
I really appreciate that. And I tell you what, I could really feel that sense of love as they said those words. So if you want to know, guys, what is the truth, you do feel it. You really do. You know it. It's not something, if I close my eyes now and just said something wise sounding, it feels flat. It feels like it's just words coming from me. When you really do involve the spirit world, and there is a degree of ebb and flow, because it doesn't stay like solid 100% strong all the time. It wavers, and I waver too. But when you really do feel that presence of spirit that is sharing those words through you, you've got the answers you need. You know that you're not alone. All right. And that is not exclusive to me. All of you can feel that. All of you can experience it. All right. There is nothing special about me. All right. All of us are equal. And that will always be the case.
You're still pretty special.
I'm special in many ways, some of them not complimentary, but yeah, there's definitely reasons that I'm special to the average person. But Look, does anyone else have any questions or anything that you want to mention before I do let you go? So it's look, okay, right, good. Now, thank you massively to everyone that's taken time out of your day to watch me. And there's just, it is terrifying. My stomach has been doing somersaults since about 10 o'clock this morning. And I've been thinking, oh my goodness, am I going to do this or not? And because you do feel that, I feel that tension. I can feel that connection being built up hours before. I know it's going to happen. And but I'm glad that hopefully you got something from it. Now, my truth and the truth of my guides isn't a universal truth. All right. If it doesn't resonate with you, then ignore it. It's as simple as that, because the truth has to resonate with you. All right. So if you've got a different perspective, I absolutely think it's right to have that. All right. So you need to follow what feels right to you. So we just offer the opportunity for them to share their thoughts. As simple as that. So massively, massively thank you from all of us for doing that. So I just want to close in a little closing prayer, just to bring this sacred space to an end, because I know they like to do that. Okay, guys. Great and divine Father, to those that walk this path with us, those that fill our hearts with love, I understand how blessed I am. I understand that I want that feeling for everyone. I want everyone to recognize as they leave this evening, this time together, that they truly are part of the spirit world, that they're experiencing it as a physical person, but you're no less than anyone else. Those opportunities, that love, the development and the progress is there for you, should you choose to accept it. I ask that your families and you are blessed in every way possible, and that you go away from this evening with nothing but love within your heart and mind. Amen.
Amen.
So, Judy, thank you massively for being the moderator, for helping me. Appreciate it. To all of those that I work with, I will see you in the next class, whenever that may be. And if you like my weirdness, tell others. If you don't, tell no one. Joking aside, I appreciate the support. So you can find me on Facebook and the rest of it on my website. Maybe I'll do this again in the near future, but I will be working with my other trance mediums, and we'll be sharing some more spirit wisdom. So look, guys, you are free to go to do something less spooky, but I will catch up with you sometime soon. I'll make this recording available for you all in the probably in the next day or so. All right, so I'll catch you soon. I'm going to stop recording there.
Bye.
Thank you.
Chin
Bye.
chin.
Everyone.
Judy,
Good night.
See you guys Friday.